What is going on, viewers of this YouTube channel? My name is Ethan J. I am a licensed personal trainer. I spend my time, most of my life, training in the gym. I want to talk a little bit about a powerful concept that was going to relate to some people, talking about the history and experiences in my life that I have dealt with, and may they find some answers and revelation and some hope for another young man or person or individual who's going through struggles in his own life. I've made a lot of videos talking about faith and how I've used faith as a cornerstone for transformative work on how to solve and handle difficult problems in life. I feel and I believe that discussing how to handle difficulties in life is a very fundamental skill set that you should teach a younger generation. Had I been able to understand this at a younger age, I would have been able to resonate and use the tools to benefit myself in an older stage of my life. Going to near my 30s here in the next 2 years, the first trains of thought that I want to really talk with a younger male generation with is the absent father home, right? So growing up in a single parent home. In a situation where you grow in a home where there is no male figure, you grow up relying on your own skill set, right? To develop and to find answers for yourself. Now you see, there's a lot of benefit that I can say about my upbringing, but I can say that there's a lot of immense negative. One is that you only see one gender's perspective of life and growing up, right? No one really teaches a man how to grow up. So you have to go into the real world and really, train yourself up on how to grow and become a man. Now, in my circumstance, I've been blessed to have met incredible coaches and leaders. And the reason for my own lack of success on the stage has been a lack of discipline, hard work, and tenacity in pursuing the things and the attributes and the challenges that make a man great. Of course, I'm taking action on these disciplines now, and you're never too late to really change your life if you choose to fix your life. But these functional cornerstone habits that I'm outlining here in this video, if I had started sooner, would have helped me a long journey along down the line in a different time. So, for those of you that know, I prioritize strength training and bodyweight training, calisthenics, and those are the foundations, as well as cardiovascular training. And I make that the cornerstone of my business. I teach people how to become strong and how to become fast. The first tip that I would give anybody that's out there who's growing up in a dysfunctional home is prioritize your discipline. You have so many hours within a week, so many minutes within a day that you can maximize and take advantage of to maximize your functioning, processing, and regulating your own growth. Fitness has given me that. I will always advocate. As you can tell, I don't have the best physique. There's a lot of areas within my own anatomy that need constant work, yet to this day I still haven't found any answers, but I will still continue to go to the gym even if I don't look the most appealing or have the biggest biceps or have the best bench press or squat, because I love the aspect of challenging my body and growing every single day, and the scientific backing behind resistance-based training and the benefits of adaptive growth are immense for men. So the first advice that I would give myself if I was in high school and I know that I'm coming from a dysfunctional family and a dysfunctional home is prioritize growing and developing. Discipline builds self-esteem. So if you know this and you know that in order to build your self-esteem, you have to somehow discipline yourself, and you're not highly educated, you don't have a backing in math, you're not genetically gifted in understanding literature, or you're not based in any of the sciences or the maths, then the first thing you want to do is you want to optimize your ability to understand your kinesthetic awareness and master movement, right? Now, this can also take you away from the second stage, which is understanding your environment and your influences. I have met some great people that I've always been right away quick to make friends with, but I've also made friends with some terrible influences, right? I'm not saying that I wasn't a terrible influence at some point, but I can also see that there were individuals that I met along my path that definitely made my growth a little bit more difficult, right? Do not involve yourself with anybody that has to use a substance, narcotic, alcohol, opioid, or some type of substance to mitigate their life and make their experience better. I truly believe that it's the strongest people that can live their life completely sober and away from all types of substances. Any person that has to rely on weed, marijuana, alcohol for a long period of their life probably has something going on within their biochemistry and their brain that's making them feel that that substance is required. And this is a very hypocritical thing to say, because for those people that do know me, I spent many of my years being that guy. And as of now, I've taken the stance of sobriety so seriously, and I've been sober for a very significant period of time, and I choose and I will see to extend that to the day that I die, because I understand now that, considering my circumstances, there's influences around me that are actually influencing my path to go down that route, which could ultimately lead to a demise within my own career and professional and personal growth. And I choose not to ever allow anyone to hold merit of my success any longer. And that is exactly what these substances do. I'm not saying that everyone has an ulterior motive. I am saying that there is an agenda for the reason why drugs and narcotics and alcohol is pushed to the degree that they are pushed. There is an incentive. There is a reason for why there are so many marijuana stores in every single corner of every single intersection in a hood or in a poor, impoverished area, right? There is a reason why cannabis is legal. There is a reason why alcohol is being pushed to the masses, right? And I can show you the ample amount of examples with DUIs and drug-related crime, drug-related relationship problems that occur in today's world. But the moral of this video is do not do drugs, right? There's no benefit for you to be doing any sort of drug if you're coming from dysfunction, and you should not hang out with anybody that is living that set of lifestyle, that certain type of lifestyle. And this can be difficult, which is going to go into my third point. The lonelies chapter. There's going to be a season of your life when, as you are growing and as you're fixing your life, and that's a big emphasis of my current year so far, and not just my year, but my YouTube channel, which is fixing your body, fixing your abilities, but fixing your life on a spiritual, metaphysical, practical level, is you're going to be alone for a lot of your life as you start to realize that we live in a very dysfunctional society. Majority of people that have already created social groups and connected and have built strong foundations have come from upbringings where their family has kept them away from the darkness. So if you're growing up in the hood, if you're growing up in the projects, and I've grown up in a technical hood in my city, I've grown up in poverty pretty much my entire life, I could tell you that most people don't want to interact with somebody that's coming up from having nothing. So you have to build your life based off of a skill set, a pedigree, and earn the respect of people through your intelligence, grit, or your ability to analyze immense amounts of data, or be able to be a shining light in a dark world, so that you are able to bring in the people that you are looking to bring in who also stand on the same habitual patterns that you want to optimize your life with and follow as well, right? So, and those patterns are simple. No drinking, no smoking, no murdering, no stealing, no cheating, no lying, no cutting, no bragging, no boasting, no cursing, no crime, right? And definitely no narcotics, no opioids, no drugs whatsoever at all. Now, these are the standards that I live my life on, and as of today, and I've lived for a very long time. And the only substance that ever really gave me a significant problem for me growing up was marijuana, just with its ability to sedate and calm down my energy. And even then I realized that even itself was a big detriment, because I could utilize my gift for a better passion or career. So this is my advice for anybody out there that's dealing with that and that hasn't beat that yet. The best thing that you could do in that regard is to get on your knees and to pray to the one who is above and ask him for your help, so that he may help you get away from certain ways of thinking, right? Whether it's relying on a substance. Going on a health journey, which I'm very passionate about as well too, will also teach you that while you're spending $300, $400, $500 on your pounds and your grams and your ounces, you can actually take that money and put that into proper beef, steak, ribeye, and proper food, and that's going to help you upon your journey upon getting jacked, right? Which is, I think, more of an important journey that every man should pursue. Going on to my next point. So, coming from dysfunction, there are a lot of examples of what not to do. And coming from dysfunction also allows you to make poor, very dumb, very illogical decisions, and don't give you the tools on how to handle stress and the struggles of life. This can lead to going into, like we mentioned before, substance abuse, body image abuse, going into relying on food as a source of fuel, right? Going into sleeping in and spending days off not tackling the challenge of becoming a competent individual and providing something to the workforce. These are all factors that you have to consider when you're removing yourself from dysfunction. And the main thing you want to think about is you never want to blame anybody else. You want to analyze and assess your situation and realize, okay, so this is where dysfunction is. I am a dysfunctional individual. Here's what I'm going to have to do to get out of it. Now I'm going to give you guys a few tools that I've used, not to completely get myself out of this situation, as my life is an ongoing process, but I can tell you a few things that will help you solidify your journey and begin the approach. So the first thing is that you have to remove all negative influences. And that means you have to stop being one yourself. You have to put a standard rule. So my standard is I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't club, I don't party. I've been abstinent now for the past year and a half. I've technically my whole life, but in terms of being with a partner, I haven't been with a partner in a year and a half. I don't believe in cheating with people or hooking up with people. I don't believe in holding relationships that don't have merit. I've only had one partner my entire life, and she was a star. She was amazing. She was a 10 out of 10, still is. I don't believe in narcotic abuse. I don't believe in opioids. I don't believe in gambling. I don't believe in, and for the men that need to hear this message, prostitution and escort service work is unacceptable by any means whatsoever. You have to be celibate. And these are some of the standards that I align myself to. Now, there are times when I will break one of my habits and go to a fast food restaurant, maybe to get a pizza, and that's like the furthest that I'll go in terms of my lack of discipline. But when it comes to disciplining myself, that's the first step that you have to take, which is an extreme approach on discipline. Yes, this means that on some nights on Friday, you're going to be at the house studying, or you're going to be at the house training. I spend a lot of my time doing chin-ups and push-ups and pull-ups and squats and lunges nowadays, and benches, squats, and RDLs and barbell rows most of my time when I'm not training and not working. But that's what majority of my life is really fixed around nowadays, is I'm moving myself away from dysfunction. As you start to realize that dysfunction follows a pattern. So the only way to defeat dysfunction is to go toward order. This means structuring your mornings. This means structuring your days. This means really starting to see things from a process of processes and starting to see life from more of a combative approach in terms of solution orientation, instead of partying and just going out there and just doing drugs to get your needs met, right? Misery loves company, right? So if you're ever noticing, as you're hanging around these parking lots and these random places in the middle of nowhere, and you're starting to notice, dude, like everyone I'm hanging around with right now is a degenerate, it's probably because you're just doing some degenerate stuff, more or less. And the question is do you want to stay doing that the rest of your life? Because that path leads you a certain direction. It's up to you to decide to say if you want to go do that or not. Next point that I want to make. You might have to be alone for many years of your life, and that's part of the process that you're going to have to face, because you might be in that middle stage of correcting your life and getting yourself in order, and this also might mean that there's the social group's already established, so you're going to have to figure out how I'm going to build myself up. But don't be discouraged about being in the middle stage. Just continue to focus on excellence, because as you continue to train, as you continue to put on muscle, as you continue to sharpen your mastery, as you continue to work on the gifts that you can cultivate, right, you will start to see that the learning curve becomes immense, because the hyper focus you can put towards productivity now, as you're in your cleaner state, more in alignment, more in isolation, you can start to develop yourself to become highly functional. And that is the end goal. That is what the system doesn't want. That's what poverty can't handle: a functional human being, somebody who can auto-regulate his emotions, somebody who can say, no, I don't want this. No, I don't want that. No, I don't need to do this. No, I don't want that product. No, I don't want that service. I'm saving my money. This type of individual is a problem to most markets, because he can auto-regulate his own decisions. And that is the moral of this video. I want to help as many people first get over the fear of missing out and realizing you're not missing out on anything if it's degenerate behavior. I needed to learn that instead of going out and taking out every single yes and person that wants to ask me to go out, starting to realize that, hey, you know what, it might be better if I just stick it dolo, right? Work on my game plan, work on my career. I got stuff I need to develop. Secondly, understanding the value of intimacy in relationships. understanding the importance of it, and the importance of marriage, and the importance of being honest and loyal through all situations. Chasing multiple women is not going to be your end message bet, and chasing women on social media accounts or dating apps are not going to help you in any said sort of way. The real, most authentic relationships come from having shared values and long, deep conversations about life goals, about enjoyments, about what you guys like to do, your love language, about who you are as a person, what your best skill set is, why you do what you do, what you do for. These are what allow you to cultivate and bring a person that is closely the best fit for you. And then also trusting God and knowing God's purpose in his life. And that's the same thing I can say about your career, finding out what your skill set is and what you're good at. So this video has kind of been on a rant. I've been kind of going on a tangent here, just talking a little bit about dysfunction, but dysfunction is close to my heart because I've been dysfunctional for many years. And part of working out my own dysfunction, once that journey is done, and I think that's always going to be something that I'm going to always relate to, I'm going to help as many young people get out of that dysfunction for themselves. And I think this is a video that's going to really help them get on the right path. The most important thing that I could put on this video is, I don't know if you could see the top book right there. That's a Bible. You need to have some type of foundation that's going to help you get your act back together and hold you to a higher standard if you don't have people that do that for you. And for me, the Word of God has been one thing that has helped me get my life back in the right track. So if you're coming from a dysfunctional home, you're coming from a dysfunctional life and a dysfunctional way of thinking, sometimes the best way to remind yourself about the highest standards possible for a human being and the way that your highest identity could be is from understanding the concept from an older book of wisdom. Seek wisdom in all things, and all things shall be given unto you, right? So always be willing to learn from the elderly and older individuals, because you'll be able to gain a perspective that you might not have had before. With that being said, big shout out to Ed Lettermore. I have his book somewhere here. He's a phenomenal human being. I saw a video of him talking about growing up in a single parent home, and I just wanted to relate and put my 2 cents in there. Be blessed. Have a good day. Fighting dysfunction every single day. Got to work on my shoulders clearly, because man, my like that right there needs to get fixed. But it's gonna be fun to really see how nucleus overload training goes in. More videos on that coming in soon. Be blessed. Have a good day.